Hey, somebody just came in. That might be Joan now.
Pardon me. Am I interrupting anything?
No, not at all.
Then I must be in the wrong studio. Goodbye.
Hey, wait a minute. It's Reggie Gardner, folks. Well, Reggie, it's really a pleasure to see you here, and it's awfully nice of you to be on this first program, in spite of your broken arm.
Oh, my arm's much better, thanks. In fact, it's practically healed.
Then why don't you take off the sling?
I would, but it's holding up my pants. You see, I can't afford a butler. Frightful, isn't it?
Say, Mr. Murphy, when are you going to introduce me to Joan Crawford?
Judy, look, I'll introduce you to Joan Crawford just as soon as she gets here.
Hasn't Joan been on yet?
No, and we're waiting for Jack Benny, too. He just finished his own program, and he's... He'll like that. You see, Jack just finished his own program, and right now he's in a police car.
Oh, really? I heard his show, but I didn't think it was that bad. You know, I heard a lot of radio programs while lying in the hospital with my broken arm. In fact, that's all I did. I didn't get any sleep at all. You see, being in one room so long brought back my old phobia of believing that the furniture and everything in the room was alive. With the exception of my night nurse, of course, who definitely wasn't. I actually believe that all inanimate objects are alive, and along this line, the most alive thing I've ever seen is a railway engine. Not only is it alive, but it's livid, furious. It loathes humanity. The only human who isn't afraid of it, I can't think why, is the engineer who leans out of his cab and waits for the signal to go. And when he gets the signal, he turns around and catches hold of a handle, pulls it down, and this livid beast is unleashed. Like this. And so forth on its journey. Well, now that we've unleashed this livid thing, we find it still equally furious, and it has a colossal argument for the rails it's running on. Like this. Giddle-a-dop, baddle-a-da, giddle-a-dee, biddle-a-dop, baddle-a-da, biddle-a-dee, giddle-a-dee, baddle-a-dop, baddle-a-da, giddle-a-dee. That goes on the entire journey. And not only does it have a colossal argument for the rails it's running on, but also all the other rails when they dare to cross its own. Like this. Biddle-a-da, gaddle-a-da, diddle-a-dee, giddle-a-dee, and so on. A few years ago, I went to France, and when I arrived at Calais, I got my first glimpse of a French engine. I was very much impressed. It seemed to me to be 4 times as big and 8 times as livid as any engine I'd ever seen before. To begin with, it had 27 of everything. Cow catchers, bells, tea cosies, knives and forks. In fact, everything but Darrell Zanuck hanging all over it. And when I was crossing the rails to get to the platform on the other side where I was to catch my train, I had to walk in front of this frightful monster, so I cowered away from it, and suddenly, to my amazement, it let out an extraordinarily effeminate voice. It seemed to me to be so enormously masculine, and yet as it started on its journey for Paris, all it managed to summon up was... Of course, I may be wrong about that, but really does seem to me to be a little peculiar. Now, before I end this bit of nonsense, I would like to tell you the one thing that an engine really loathes more than anything else, and that is another engine coming in the opposite direction. That it cannot bear. And by this time, you're well on your trip, and you've settled down quite calmly to diddle-a-dom, baddle-a-da, diddle-a-dee, boddle-a-da, and all the other maddening noises, when suddenly, to your horror, this new thing bursts upon you and nearly knocks you on the carriage floor. It's the most frightening thing in the world, and it goes like this. Diddle-a-da, diddle-a-da, diddle-a-dee, diddle-a-da, hallada, 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 diddle-a-da, diddle-a-dee, diddle-a-da. But it's very silly, don't bother. It's just my own personal